Yo, podcast family, thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited. This season has been going amazing. I'm having the time of my life. I'm living out my wildest dreams, doing what I've always wanted to do, sit down with folks, have conversations that hopefully will inspire you and encourage you, help you to be better. Today, I can't think of anybody else better to help you be better. He's a leadership guru. He has one of the largest Christian podcasts that's out right now. It's none other than my man from Canada, Carey Nieuwhof. Carey Nieuwhof is a leadership guru, and he's going to talk to you about leadership. We're going to have a conversation about leadership and its impact on us, how we've had to develop as leaders, some of the stretching that we've had to do as leaders to become great leaders. Listen, I don't care if you're a church leader, if you're a leader and you're in your home, if you're an older sister and got a younger brother, you're a leader. Somebody's watching you, you're influencing someone. Sit down and be encouraged, be equipped, be inspired by some tips on leadership from my conversation with my man, Carey Nieuwhof. Check it out. I hope it inspires you.
Stadia has had the honor of helping hundreds of great leaders start new churches. We have a passionate desire to make sure that every child on the planet can experience the overwhelming love of Jesus Christ through the local church. This vision compels us to ask one very important question. Who's next? Who are the leaders that God is raising up to plant new churches? Who are the leaders that will answer the call to say, I'll follow, I'll raise up this generation, the next generation to know Jesus Christ and to change the world forever? Are you ready to start your church planting journey? Perhaps you know someone who is. Stadia is ready to help, and we'll be with you every step of the way, because we won't stop until every child has a church.
Carey Nieuwhof is in the building.
Hey, Albert,
Carey.
it's great to be with you,
Oh
man.
my goodness, we've got the podcast king in the building. I'm so excited, man.
Thanks for having me on yours, man.
Dude.
You're blowing up the interwebs.
Dude, I am so excited. But now, first of all, Carey, for those of you who don't know, he has one of the biggest Christian podcasts that exist, right? How long have you been doing this, Carey?
About 3.5 years.
3.5 years. When did it go crazy? When did you realize, okay, people are actually listening?
You know, that first week when we launched and it hit #1 on iTunes, I went, oh boy,
Out of the
like
gate,
that
you
is
hit #1.
crazy. Well, I already had been blogging for a couple of years,
Uh-huh.
and I had like a couple million people who read my blog at that time. It's gotten bigger since then. And I said to them, hey, would you be interested in a podcast? And I had like 419 people opt into like, I want to be on the launch team. They told all their friends, and that blew it up.
So you're a church planner at heart. You built a launch team.
I built a
for
launch
podcast.
team, man.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking
absolutely.
about.
Well,
That's
I
awesome.
had a lot of help from my friends at Orange and a guy named Kevin Jennings.
Okay.
Kevin Jennings is brilliant.
Well, I'm going to call cousin Kevin. Tell him
you need to talk to
Albert
Kevin.
is coming over and you need to help a brother out.
Absolutely.
I want to be the new black Carey Nieuwhof. That's it. Hashtag
Do I get to be the
Black
white
Carey.
Albert Tate?
Yes.
then?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let me tell
I
you.
would love that.
It don't pay much. So you might be in trouble, but Black Carey, I think I could go to the bank, Jack. Let's go. So, Carey, as I get started, top 3 tips. Give me some advice. What do I need to do to have an effective podcast?
Okay, a couple things. Number 1, think about your guest. You want to choose because your goal is to be helpful.
Yeah.
Your podcast will be free. I assume you
Yes.
know most podcasts are free. Mine's free. It's free to the listener, but it costs them their time.
Yeah.
And at the end of, depending on your format, I went long form, which was very counterintuitive at the time.
Yeah.
So my podcasts often are over an hour in length, and people are like, people don't have that attention span. Well, people have paid with their time.
Yeah.
But what I find is if I get a leader for 45 minutes or an hour, they relax, they tell me stuff they wouldn't tell me in a 10-minute soundbite. And so I want to make sure that there's quality to the end.
Yeah.
Because they paid with their time. So really think about your listener. Secondly, think about your target. So my target right now is for a church leader who pastors a church of 200 or less. And he's stressed and he's trying to get home to tuck his kids into bed. He doesn't have a lot of money, but he realizes that, you know, he needs to invest in himself, invest in his team, invest in the future.
Yeah.
And then I have a second target. It's a little more narrow. Guys by the name of Craig Rochelle and Andy Stanley. So people who lead larger churches, because I think actually, although it doesn't seem that way, the issues we struggle with are the same.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
we all have fears, we all have insecurities,
Yeah.
we all have scale issues. They're a little bit different, you know, when you're trying to scale 40,000 or 100,000.
Yeah.
But we all have similar issues. And what I'm surprised at is, you know, obviously 85% of all churches are small. So that tribe is in, like they love it. But what blows me away is I hear from megachurch pastors, including, you know, Craig or others, who say they listen. And it's amazing and it's very humbling.
Well, I'll tell you, I was with a megachurch pastor in Texas, and he was giving me some things to listen to read as I'm getting ready. And he just mentioned, he just says, now, and you listen to Carey Nieuwhof, right? I said, who? He said, you don't know who Carey Nieuwhof is? He immediately grabbed my phone, download. He says, forget every other book, every other thing I just showed you. Listen to this, and that will be all you need for your whole vacation.
That's
and
crazy.
And he was right. Like,
that's crazy.
Oh my goodness. It was amazing, inspirational, and powerful. So that's good. So target us, what's number 3? What's the
number
last
3, ship when you said you're going to ship. I can't tell you, like, you know, I've been blogging.
Wait, excuse me, what did you say?
Ship.
Oh,
there's
ship.
a P.
Oh.
You can keep the clean
I just
logo
thought we
on
just
your
had
podcast.
to change our podcast rating.
Yeah.
I was like, Carey Nieuwhof is a savage. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. Ship.
It's my Canadian accent.
Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, ship what you say. So if you coming out on Tuesday.
You come out every Tuesday on time, and you stay up till midnight on Monday if you have to do
you
that.
have to, but meet the
because
goal.
you're building trust.
Got it.
And the other thing that I've discovered is I've been podcasting 3.5 years. A lot of the guys I started with just stopped. Or, you know, it's fits and spurts. It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing my podcast, whatever. I'll give you a 4th bonus tip. Invest in a good microphone. I use the Heil PR40. And
that
yeah,
sounds intense.
it's like
Whoa.
so my whole startup cost was under $1,000 bucks, but like, you know, that's big money and everything.
Oh, yeah.
The microphone is everything. And right now what I'm researching with my team, because I do a lot of remote interviews, you know, I don't have this fancy Albert Tate gear around me, you know, with
this
the
is all
expense.
borrowed.
Yeah, you're a baller.
No, not, I said borrowed, not
Borrowed.
Oh, my God, that's my southern accent coming out. Your Canadian accent got you sounding like you're saying in my southern accent. It sounded like I'm saying, bro.
Well, enjoy the subtitles on this
There you
episode,
go.
people. You know, if you can't figure out what either of us is saying, you can always turn the subtitles on.
No, that's good. That's good.
No, what was I saying?
Your equipment,
deliver. So if you're doing a monthly podcast, deliver when you said you were going to do
And
it.
get a good microphone.
And get a good microphone. You're right.
Got
there
it,
we are.
got it.
So get a good microphone, you know, whatever that is. And right now, we're buying a fleet of microphones that I'm going to ship to my guests. And so that they can have a microphone that sounds even better.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And then just kind of rotate, buy 8 or 10, and then just kind of flip them out. It's like, well, now that we're done, Albert, do you mind, you know, we include the label.
Yeah.
Can you ship this to blah, 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 blah.
else.
Or send. Maybe I'll use the word send.
No, yes, that'll be good. That'll help your reputation. 'Cause right now it's tanking
It's
on
been
my
ruined.
show. Oh,
The former Carey Nieuwhof Leadership
is
Podcast.
Gone. He said that with
It's
Albert
gone.
Tate, and the boys
There are
started
no
cussing
listeners.
like crazy.
There are no listeners
It just
left.
went bad. It went bad. Carey, tell me about an interview that just did not go well.
Oh, wow. You know, I had a couple. I do a couple of podcasts. I had one interview, and I asked the guy, I want to be careful what I say. I asked the guy, you know, tell me a bit about yourself. Now, when I ask that, normally, you know, people give the 30-second to 3-minute bio.
Yeah.
45 minutes later. I'm like, I'm not your biographer. Like, I don't know. Are you, like, do you think I'm writing the story of your, I'm not kidding. I'm not making this
Why
up.
didn't you just interrupt him and say,
Well, I tried. I got it back on, like, I'm pretty, you know, I've interviewed a lot of people.
yeah.
And you can get it back like you're doing
Yeah.
with this. It's like, you know, we got into profanity and you pulled it back very quickly.
Well, you know, you're
Yeah.
a savage, you know. So, you know, we worked out. So, I mean, the guy's like, and then in 5th grade, and then you're like,
yeah, I'm like, whoa,
hey,
yeah.
come here.
Yeah, you know, when I like this girl in my class and everything, I'm like, nobody cares.
Oh,
and,
my goodness.
You know, the leader, if you've always got to have your audience in mind.
Yeah.
So I had to message him the next day and let him know I'm not using it.
Oh,
Never heard back.
Now, was Andy Stanley offended when you did that? How did Andy take that?
Good one.
Okay,
Good
so
one.
I want to put you on the hot seat a little bit.
All right, you do that.
So I want to play a game. It's called the 3-word game.
Okay.
I'll say a word, and you got to describe your reaction or your response or your thoughts on that word with 3 words.
Okay.
So you only get 3 words. Got
All
it?
right.
All right. So I'll say Albert Tate, and then you have to say amazing, phenomenal, my black counterpart. You see what I'm saying? Like three words. You got it?
Got it.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Donald Trump.
Oh, narcissistic. Worried. Temporary.
Wow. All right. You're not playing. Fergie singing the national anthem at the All-Star game.
Boy, this is a game, isn't it? Nice try. Thanks for coming out. Better luck next time.
Good. I love it. All right. Guns and gun control.
Don't get it. Why? Don't kill. I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
That one I don't get it.
Yeah.
I know cops who have guns, but
Yeah.
I don't have a category for that. Now, you just lost half your listeners because I said that, but like I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't get the gun culture.
Yeah, not only did I just lose half my listeners, but you broke the rule. It's 3 words. And
3
then you
words.
went into a whole commentary. You act like Andy Stanley now.
Yeah, I'm
It's-
sorry.
No.
You'll have to
it's-
delete me. It was all about me.
No, that's one of the dynamics between Canada and America. Although we're so close and it's just right there, there are some things that are drastically different in our culture.
Like guns.
Like guns.
Gun
Like
control.
guns,
I have no problem with it.
healthcare
Yeah.
are 2 completely different things. So here's another one, and you can.
I'll do words.
We'll go back to the 3-word. LGBTQ.
Wow. Empathy. Tough.
That's good. This is a hard game though, because I want to now hear all of it.
Yeah,
all
you're
the
doing. You're
things
like
of it.
you're. Why don't you do like apple pie?
I know.
That would be so easy. Yum, yum, yum.
There you go. Here's one. The church.
Aha. Hope. Amazing. Mission.
That's good. That's good. So at our church, which I'd love to get you to come out to our church, Carey.
I'd love that.
There in Southern California, we have a game that we play called the Questions of the Day. And it's what we do during our fellowship time. We'll always give a new question of the day. And on our podcast, I want to every episode have a segment that I call Question of the Day, where I'll ask you just a rapid fire list of questions and you just respond some of your first reactions to the
Okay.
questions. Is good?
Yeah.
So we'll close out our episode
Let's
with
do it.
this, all right? And then you're going to become a sponsor and mentor me and help me become #1 on iTunes, right? All right. Here we go. First question. If you could join any musical ensemble of all time, which would it be?
Oh, my wife's the musical one. I would say. Which one did I really? Les Mis.
Les Mis? Mm-hmm. Nice. All right.
Jean Valjean.
Impressive. What is something that everyone else loves that you think is overrated?
Hockey.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm Canadian.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I just
you
don't
just
get
lost
it.
listeners, buddy.
I know.
You just lost
I'm
listeners.
down to, well, it is me in my basement. It's soon going to be just me in my basement again. Yeah, that's how it's going to go.
What other profession would you consider pursuing?
Oh, there's like 1,000. Startup, some kind of startup or marketing for sure.
Yeah,
Love it.
I could see you winning at that. What's something that you're bummed that you're still bad about? That you're still bad at?
Oh, there's so much. Graphic design.
Huh?
Terrible at it.
Huh?
My staff produce these amazing things. They're not trained in anything, and I'm like, I've downloaded Photoshop. I guess I bought it. I don't know how to use it. And so I just write and they design.
They design. That's good. What's something that you used to say but you don't say anymore?
Oh. I really have to think about that. It's all about competency. I used to say that. I was so focused on competency in my 20s, and I don't believe that anymore, and I don't say it anymore. It has nothing to do with competency, everything to do with character.
Wow. That's deep. That's good.
I took 5 seconds to think about that.
No, but it was the payoff was strong.
Yeah, good.
So
good.
I was a good host. I just
You were a good host.
I just lean into the silence.
That is a host tip, by the way.
It is. Tim Ferriss says that.
Let the silence do the work.
Yeah.
Cal Fussman, Tim Ferriss. Yeah.
And the silence did the work, and you gave us a deep. That's going to be tweetable. People are going to be tweeting that. That's going to be good. What's something that you pray about a lot, but you don't talk about often?
I pray to be faithful. I think most of us live in the space, Albert, where we hope we're being faithful. We hope our motives are pure, but I know myself well enough to know that I'm a man of mixed motives. And so I pray about that almost daily.
Wow.
And don't talk about it a lot.
That's good. That's good. When is the last time you had to say, I'm sorry?
I say it every day. When did I say? I said I'm sorry to God. I felt like the barista this morning was rude to me, and I had this bad thought in my head about like the snarky response I could give her, and then I sort of said sorry to God, so that was it. And then, I said sorry to a leader that I couldn't meet him yesterday because I had dinner plans. I end up saying sorry every day. I'm Canadian.
You're Canadian. Sorry is it's a part of the rule. I got you.
Every time I open my mouth.
What is something that is often misunderstood about you?
Nobody knows the first decade. Everybody thinks, I just sort of arrived, if you're a success and
Overnight
and I'm
success.
Not, overnight
a
success.
30-year overnight success.
It was a long night, as my wife says.
Wow.
And, people think you just started doing something and it worked. I spent the first 10 years of my leadership, not only our church was growing rapidly and I was known for that, but I've been doing consulting and speaking for 25 years. But in the early days, it was like the church down the road called me in. I met with like 5 elders in a church basement, explained everything we were doing. They told me I was wrong. And I went home. And, on a good day, I got a gas card to cover the gas, on the way back. So I just did years and years of like driving around, talking to people, having them go, no. And even consulting with denominations, and they'd be like, oh, that only works in your church, or this doesn't work. So there was a decade of like nobody paying attention before all of a sudden everybody started paying attention.
Wow.
So I feel like I've been saying a lot of the same stuff for 25 years. It's just in the last 10 years, everybody showed up to listen.
Wow. How good does it feel to see God's faithfulness and come full circle with that?
Yeah. And that tells you whether you're mission driven, right? Like it's funny, I read one of the first keynotes I gave in 2006. I was Googling something to see, I just needed to go back to an earlier piece I'd written, and Google's your friend even if you're the author. Yeah. So I'm deep Googling something, and I ran across a talk I gave in 2006 that, honestly, I haven't looked at the content in 12 years. And I sent it to a couple of my staff that have been around that long, and I said, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Wow.
Like, I would think all these are new ideas. They're actually ideas I had in 2005, 2006. And so it's kind of the same message, it's just all these people showed up. And so if you've got a good message, what I would say to your listeners, your viewers, is if you've got a good message, you believe in it, hey, it's going to get rejected for a while. Hold on. One day people may show up, and if they don't, you were good at sharing the message. You were faithful.
Wow, that's good. What's an area of your leadership that you're still growing in?
Scaling and how I impact other people. One of my good friends, Jeff Henderson, has this beautifully horrible question: what's it like to be on the other side of me? And so I ask that question almost daily, and some days it's fun to be on the other side of me. Occasionally it's not fun.
Wow.
And I want the people closest to me to love me and respect me the most.
Wow. Do you ever ask those people that question? Or
Yes.
Is it just,
I ask them.
Really?
What's it like to be on the other side of me? Yep. We intentionally ask that question.
That's a brave question.
It's painful.
Yeah.
I don't always like the answer. Then it's more counseling.
More counseling.
Then more counseling.
Last question. Favorite cuss word?
That's funny. I try not to swear a whole lot, but I really don't. But it probably starts with SH if I
love
hit
that.
myself.
So basically the word you said earlier already on my show.
But I said
Oh, right. Yes.
Right.
And we'll stick with that, folks. Carey Nieuwhof. Thanks, my brother.
Hey,
Thank you
thanks,
so much.
Albert. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you,
so
my
good.
friend.